think we can start, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Can you guys hear me in the back? Cool.
Let me just, I'll just quickly, my name is Anna. I'm with Evolving Web, and I'm here to present Katie. I'm sorry I'm reading this because it's 3 o'clock and I'm a little tired, but I wrote like a nice paragraph, so I'm going to read it. But Katie is a product manager at CFA Institute, and she oversaw the rebuild of their entire omni-channel ecosystem. And I think in the talk, we'll talk about their ambitious digital transformation and where they completed the rebuild, and then they migrated 3 of their major sites to a unified Acquia and Drupal platform. And as with any rebuild and migration, I'm sure there were challenges. I'm sure there were lessons learned. So I'm very excited, and I'll hand it over to Katie to talk us and present this to us today.
Sure, thank you. Hey everyone, thanks for joining me today. So my presentation, Accelerating Digital Transformation, CFA Institute's Seamless CMS Migration Success. Seamless might be a little bit of a strong word, but you know, that's one of those things you say afterwards when it went really well. So who am I? A little bit just more context. My name is Katie Manzi. I am the Enterprise Website Product Manager at CFA Institute. I've been at CFA for about 4 years. And who is CFA Institute? If you don't work in the financial industry, probably haven't heard of us, that's fine. Global Association of Investment Professionals who advocate for ethics, professional learning, and continued development and advocacy in the investment industry. So if you know any financial folks, they've probably heard of CFA or have one themselves. And CFA stands for Chartered Financial Analyst. So what the challenge was. 2023, we had made it out the other side of the pandemic, and our website was not in the greatest shape. It had not been updated in 5 years, which for anybody in website world, that's 50 years. It was very out of date, and it was very difficult to work with, and it just wasn't suiting for our needs for where we were today, at the time, and where we wanted to go. So we needed to rebuild a true omni-channel experience through a digital migration to Acquia Drupal. So this was the kind of overview of the challenge. We needed to have 3 sites completed between October 2023 and December 2024. Why those specific dates? October 2023 is when the business case got approved, and our contract with our previous CMS ran out January 2025. So we had a lot to do and very little time to do it. So I think with everybody around the world who has membership, we wanted to increase the value for our members, and part of that was creating a membership portal that did not previously exist at all. We wanted to reimagine, relaunch, rebrand our enterprise website, cfainstitute.org. And then we also needed to migrate our think tank, Research and Policy Center, very creatively named, to Acquia Drupal as well. So why was this absolutely necessary? So, and this kind of touches on one of the last talk's issues, our marketers were completely hamstrung. They could not edit or upload their own content. The way the old CMS was set up, you needed a developer or someone with highly specialized skills to be able to upload and update pages across the enterprise website. Obviously, that does not work for a marketing team and for the company as a whole, and we needed to change that ASAP. Disconnected channels. It was hard to find content. Our search wasn't working. There was a bunch of microsites all over the place, different blogs, all on different platforms, and it was kind of a mess. And again, our membership experience wasn't really existent in the digital sphere. It was a lot of old benefits that never really made it onto the online world, which isn't great for a global membership. Key revenue streams separated from digital experience, so kind of touched on that. Our renewal process for our members, our learning programs, which is our key revenue driver, and certifications were not integrated into one cohesive experience. Again, all over the place, being managed by different teams, no cohesion. And then our poor developers were stuck in the day-to-day. They were doing more updating content and maintaining the website than they were developing new features and improving the website across the board in terms of accessibility and innovation. So it was really a bad situation all around, and after trying a whole bunch of different methods, we determined it was best to just start from scratch. So our project objectives: fast time to transformation. The membership experience needed overhaul ASAP, and the deadline we were given for that was December, so it needed to be done in by Christmas of that year. Enhance digital engagement and revenue growth, increase membership retention, and drive digital revenue streams. If your website is better, people are going to buy more stuff from you, is the shortened version of that. Improve operational efficiency and reduce costs. Allow CFA marketing teams to independently manage content without IT. Accelerate time to market for digital updates. Campaigns, update, different brand installations across the website. They were happening at a glacial pace before this, and that is not good for the business across the board. And then, very importantly, re-platform for long-term growth. Establish a unified digital presence on a compliant, scalable foundation to support CFA's evolving digital strategy. We did not want to find ourselves in a situation where we ended up with a website that we would only update again in 5 years. We wanted to set up a system that would allow us continuous growth to evolve and grow as the digital atmosphere around the world does as well. So this is the fun side, to get to look at the pastry. So it started with a bake-off. We started with gathering 10 different CMSs that we had interest in, doing demos with them, evaluating, and these were our main CFA requirements. Easy to build pages, design flexibility, self-serve lead gen data capture, and easy content gating. We whittled down to about 4, and then we went into sandboxes with those 4, and then we went down to the final 2. And it really became a conversation of, do we want to go headless or do we want to go hybrid? And we ended up going hybrid, and that was with Acquia Drupal. So I'm telling the end of the story before I tell you how we got there. We pulled it off in the most stressful year of my life. So we had a 100% deadline success rate. The membership portal launched December 20th, 2023, so we really snuck it under the wire before the holidays. CFA Institute.org relaunched on October 22nd, 2024, and then the RPC, Research and Policy Center, launched on December 8th, just a few short weeks later. So this was a tremendous accomplishment. This was not all evenly spread, as you can tell as the dates. We had about 3 months on the membership portal, a little over 6 months on CFAInstitute.org, and then we did the turnaround for RPC in 4 weeks. So how did we make this happen? Low-code page building. Drupal offers a lot in terms of modules and pre-built stuff that you can take. You don't have to start from scratch. You know what you want, then you can go into and find, and this is also kind of touching on the local module ecosystem. You can pull in stuff, the hard work that people have already done, and also with low-code page building, our developers are not bogged down, and they can move quickly and get things going. Blazing fast content entry. I cannot emphasize this one enough. When we were doing this, I come from a content entry and content admin background myself before I accidentally fell into product. So I knew the struggle that our content editors had beforehand, and I knew what I wanted for them in our new system. And we got it to a point where pretty much anybody across the country, the company, who, even if they didn't have previous CMS editing experience, a 45-minute training, they could jump in and start building pages to help us, because we definitely needed that, because we were down on the wire and migrating the actual content. We had social media marketers who had capacity coming in and helping us. My boss came in and helped us, and he hasn't been in a CMS in years. it was really an all-hands project, and because of the blazing fast content entry that we were able to put in through Drupal and the work that we did by bringing in our developers and our content editors together to make sure that that experience made sense for everybody, we were able to accomplish it. I think at our peak, we were manually, for the pages that had to be manually migrated, we were doing like 60 a day across the people who were helping out. So that was pretty helpful. So the outcome, a new ecosystem that continues to be built upon today. This was perhaps a little bit of trauma bonding, but the marketing team and the development team really came together on this project. We worked kind of, an agile way together of constantly revisiting the requirements and making sure that everybody was happy while still working continuously. One of the things we talked about afterwards was this is like the first time that a lot of people at our company could remember that marketing and IT working together so seamlessly, and that is a relationship we have maintained to this day to continue to keep the website up to date on the cutting edge and make sure we all still like each other. And it seems to be fine, because I actually found out about an hour ago that our website just won a Drum Award in the financial sector. So that's very exciting. Thank you. But numbers do all the talking. So I could talk till I'm blue in the face about how kumbaya and how much we love each other and how awesome the website are, but here's some numbers that prove it. So this is, I got them right from our team about a week before now, so they're pretty up to date. So our organic search conversion has improved 1.3%. Our quality of visitors have improved 17%. Visitors that reach enrollment or checkout has increased by 4%. And that last one is kind of a crazy number, but our forms were truly horrific on the old website. So our new unique form completes has increased 109%. So that is a lot of data collection. Marketers very happy. So what's next? We built this to continue building it. It is a never-ending project. And looking to the future, we are going to put a lot of our focus on localization. We serve communities around the world, including China, India, Europe, and the Middle East. And we want to start creating content and website experiences that are most relevant to them, rather than being a little bit more North America focused than we are now. And we're also looking to improve and expand our customer portals, not only just for our members, but for other groups as well. We have our candidates for the CFA program. We want to start talking more to students who are considering looking into the financial industry or want to know just what's out there, creating experiences for them as well to help young people know what a future in finance could look like. So the main lessons learned. Find a plan for, if you're in this, find a platform not for where you are, but where you want to go. Obviously where you are is important, but if you build for just where you are, you're going to be stuck for a while. You want to know what it is you're aiming towards and build for that. Back to my kumbaya, marketing and technology do not have to be enemies. We can be friends, I promise. And when they work together, and they work together well, you can really create something amazing. And like I talked about with the modules, leverage native platform functionality wherever possible. Why do the work somebody else has already done? You can save a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of money that way. Thank you for your time. I know I talk fast, but if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Yeah.
Outside of Drupal's flexible content architecture and, as you mentioned, the Drupal module ecosystem, how did you see Drupal as a future-forward CMS versus the competition?
Yeah, so we worked with Gartner a lot to kind of look and examine at what the projections were. And Drupal has kind of, for the last few years, has kind of been leading the way on CMS at the enterprise level. doing the rollout features faster than everybody else, or if not faster, better. And we talked to their salespeople and their marketing, and we did the research, and the projections looked really good. We liked what they had to offer and show us. So yeah, we're over the first, it's been a year, and we're really confident that we made a good choice, and we like the offerings they're continuing to show us. We just had a demo for their SEO platform, and we're looking at their new AI offerings as well for the future.
Nice. Conductor.
Anybody else?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Were you speaking of Acquia or strictly Drupal? And kind of the same thing for Acquia. Why did what did you do about Acquia?
Yeah, so Acquia, in case anybody doesn't know, Acquia owns Drupal now. It's a bad habit. We use them interchangeably at the company. So specifically, the website is on Drupal, but we have a couple different products through Acquia. We also purchased their DAM. So the digital asset management system, our DAM is now through Acquia as well. And we also, it used to be called VWO, and they changed it to Acquia Connect. So we've purchased that as well. So we're kind of all in on Acquia at the moment.
And you're happy with their service?
Yeah. Yeah, they're very responsive. They're very interested in feedback. I meet with our customer experience rep once a month, and we talk about things, any feedback I've been hearing from the teams, positive, negative, things I want to see in the future. So it's been really a collaborative experience.
I'd be interested in knowing what were the other alternatives that you compared, like Acquia / Drupal to, before committing to?
Yeah, so the other one, the headless we were looking at, that was in our finance tool, was Content Stack.
Okay.
You're asking my memory to work a little bit more than it is capable of at the moment, but we were coming from Sitecore, so we looked at what Sitecore was offering for the future.
That was my follow-up question. So where were you coming from?
Yeah, we were coming from Sitecore. We looked at WordPress. We looked at there's another one. They still send me emails. I can see the name in my head, but it's not. It starts with an S. That's all I can remember. It was another headless. Another smaller group that's a little bit newer on the scene. That was not Content Stack. Storyblock. Storyblock, yes. That was another one of them.
Interesting.
Yep.
And what was what aspects make the new website hybrid, like let's say hybrid headless or hybrid decoupled in your
a little above my technical acumen. Our tech lead has explained it to me like 5 times, has not fully sunk in. But yeah, the devs seem to like it. Yeah.
I'm curious what the nature of the syndication between the sites is.
So there isn't. Okay, that's not true. There's a little bit. They are very separate in their goals and their contexts. We do have a little bit of syndication between RPC and our membership portal, because there is a lot of membership-gated content on the Research and Policy Center. So some of that content does syndicate into our membership portal. We're kind of re-examining the structure of the membership portal being separate from our 2 other websites. There's discussion about integrating it so it's a little bit easier to have that syndication when it comes to our membership content specifically. But right now there's not a ton, but it's something we're looking at changing.
I see. So it's mainly gated, permission-based access to content versus publishing content from one site to another site or something like that.
Yeah. And that was a deliberate choice we made. It wasn't like a limitation of the platforms. We wanted it to be like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Sorry. Going from a .NET framework from Sitecore to a PHP based in Drupal, what was sort of the change management considerations there? From an IT standpoint, I can imagine.
I lost all my favorite developers. No, there's a big shift because obviously those 2 in the development world, those 2 don't always or necessarily overlap in terms of skill. So we had a third-party vendor who came in and really helped us whether with the developers who wanted to learn Drupal or bring in ones that already knew Drupal to help us get started. And it's changed a lot about how our sprints work and how quickly they work. Our QA process, it's kind of all changed, and it's much better. Because again, I'm not like a super technical product manager, but for where I sit, monitoring the releases and everything and the day-to-day, it's just been a lot more fluid.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So they were open to learning PHP and through the
A
help
few
of-
were,
of the
yeah,
partner.
and that was just like a personal preference on their side. Some people wanted to stay in Sitecore because it's a lot more niche, therefore you can get paid a little bit more, but other people wanted to expand their skill set, so
Gotcha.
yeah.
I mean, we can go on forever, but you can go first.
I was just going to ask if there was one. There's a lot of success on all these slides.
Yes.
I'm curious if you could change one thing about your approach or process, if applicable.
More
what would that be?
time. I would have loved about another 6 months. Yeah, it was a tight timeline. I've worked on a few of these projects in the past. None of them have taken less than a year. So doing our enterprise website in 6 months was a little bit of a nightmare. We were working a lot of overtime hours to get it done. There was quite a lot of stress. And I think that kind of added a level of tension that I would have preferred this project not have.
It sounds like that was maybe outside of your control.
Yes,
though.
it was outside our control.
there
Within
anything-
our control, I think having a discovery period would have been nice, because we didn't. We just kind of jumped right into it. Having a discovery at the beginning where we could have aligned a little bit more on where we're going would have probably mitigated some of the problems we had later on when implementation actually started. So that's one thing I think I would have done different. Yeah.
Was there any data migration? Did you migrate over the content from the old website, or did you recruit?
Yeah, so there's two sides of it. There's the manual migration, which was generally pages that were being completely refreshed. So it's like we knew the context of the page was going to be moved over, but it was getting all new content or new images or whatever. And also pages that were not structured, that it was kind of really difficult to do an auto migration. And obviously with the new membership portal, we didn't need to do that because it was all brand new. With the enterprise site, it wasn't, there was some that was auto-migrated, but the vast majority was manually replicated. RPC was a different beast. There's over 6,000 pages of research on RPC, and about 95% of the content on RPC was auto-migrated. That is how we were able to do it in 4 weeks. If we hadn't been able to figure that out, that would have been a disaster. So we did both. Depending on the site and what the need was.
So a follow-up question on that would be for the case where you had to migrate automatically. How did you approach the QA aspect of checking that it actually went well and the content was there in the right place?
Sanity checking, picking out ones. I mean, obviously, if there's 6,000 pages, you can't check all of them. So just kind of randomly selecting 10 or 20 or whatever the number was.
So spot checking.
Yeah, just spot checking different ones, and hoping for the best that there weren't any outliers we were missing, which we were, but nothing's perfect, and we found them pretty quickly after launch.
Were
Yeah.
there challenges in maintaining this migration over time, like syncing up with current editors, changing the site in real time? As
So
the current site is
yeah.
changing.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Your migration
So,
is-
for the enterprise site, we did a content freeze for the last month, which helped. In a perfect world, I would have made it longer, but I know that's not, the business would not have let me do that. So that's about as much as we could get. With the RPC, it was a little bit more difficult because they roll out research on a weekly basis. So it was more like a content freeze of 5 days, which in that case, we had to do double publishing. which was fun. But thankfully we didn't have to do it for too long. I got to, use my content editing skills myself, so I was heavily involved in both of these, helping them out do this stuff. But yeah, it was a case of double publishing, and it was not fun for anybody. Anything else?
Nice session.
Thank
Good job.
you.
Thank you so much, and thank you for coming.